Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday night craft and chat. I'm going to just put this in our Facebook group really quick. I hope you guys are all doing good. I have to say, I am no more organized. I am trying ferociously to get organized. I had to, you know what it's like. It's just not happening as fast as I would like. But that's okay. I'm working on it. I am working on it. I'm going to continue along with my glue booking. I want to make some paper bag journals. I've saved some paper bags. I have not moved my lighting and stuff over yet to get to my, to do the sewing machine thing. But soon, 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 soon. Soon, soon, soon. Give me one sec, because I can't read the chat. I can't read the chat. You guys, I was going to try and come on on Sunday. I was over the weekend. Saturday after the Defy auction, I needed to spend some time with my sweet girl. She and I went and did a bunch of stuff that she wanted to do. And because this is her like second spring break. They had one in March and they're having one now. I want to thank everybody that came to the Defy auction. That was like amazing. I, of course, spent money that I shouldn't have spent, but it's for a good cause, right? So I don't know that it really, but anyway, I got some really cool stuff, and a lot of you guys got a lot of cool stuff. Just give me one more second, and I will be there chatting with you guys. Just give me a little minute. I think we all had we all got some really cool stuff, and it was an inner child auction. I don't know how many of you guys even knew that. I didn't really know it was an inner child auction. But anyway, so I'm just going to cut up some stuff and glue and hang out. And I know I posted a bunch of stuff lately in I posted a bunch of stuff lately in our Crafting Mamas group of like people that videos or whatever. It's just, what happens to me is I find people that I really like and I want to share it. So it may be not anything you guys are interested in, but most of it is just most of it's just people that I like. Hey, Nora Jean, how are you, girl? So I think I'm going to continue to work in my glue book and cut up some stuff. I am going to make a couple paper bag journals. I'm just not going to do it right now. I've been saving some paper bags and I'm going to paint on them. And so I was thinking maybe I would jelly print on them, or I'm not quite sure. But this is what I'm up to. So how are you? What's going on with you? I know I'm on a little earlier. I thought I would come on. I usually come on a little later, but I was trying to get on a little earlier. Nothing much there. Ugh. I wish I could say that here. I wish I could say nothing much, but it has been, you don't realize, or maybe all the times I've moved before, I didn't have as much, I had more thought about it more or whatever, but it's like trying to get a house together it's just, yeah. Hi, Anne. How are you, girl? How was your Sunday stream? What project are you working on, Miss Anne? I'm just going to work on my glue book. I have paper bag journals to work on, but I didn't want to paint them. And my little space that I have right now is not big enough for painting right here. I got to clean off a bunch of stuff because I've got fabric and stuff over here. So I'm just going to cut up some stuff and maybe work on my glue book. But I do want to make this paper bag journals. I think, did you ever make them with me a couple years ago, Anne? Made these paper bag journals and sewed them and glued them and did stuff like that. Thanks for the thumbs up, my friends. I really appreciate it. So what's new with you, Miss Anne? What is new with you? I actually like this page. How did your Sunday stream go? I had every intention of trying to come and hang out with you guys, and with Blake gone, it has been a little bit it's been a lot. I've had a lot to do. Hey, Miss Jamie, how's jury duty, girl? You've been on my mind. Is it almost done? And for anybody that's asked, I have not read this magazine. I didn't read it. I just tore it up. She's fabulous, though. She'd be fabulous in a spread. This week has sort of, without having Blake here, it's sort of kicked my butt because I've had last week and this week. And he was supposed to come home today, actually, but he ended up having to postpone he had to prolong his trip. Let's just talk about this for like a second. Hey, Dee, how are you? So let's just talk about this for a second, since we're all friends here. How many of you have men in your life that think things magically can happen, okay, without like that it maybe doesn't take as much effort, and then plans accordingly, and then everything takes double the effort? Oh, you talked about and showed things that you purchased over the years? Oh, nice. So he thought he could go and, he had a little job to do. It wasn't little, but he had a job that he was supposed to do. And he did some of it, but it ends up being, he doesn't want to do the whole thing, which I understand, because you know how they don't, anyway, the timeline thing kind of works with him that way too. But you were enabling, good for you. It's over. Unfortunately, our system sucks. Oh no. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Jamie. I know exactly what you mean. So he thought he could get all this stuff done in like a really short period of time. And of course, everything always takes much longer than you think. And so he had to extend his trip. I'm sorry, Jamie. Oh my gosh, that's just so horrible. Our system does suck. I will agree with you there. It really does. I like these girls. I just need to find something else because I need to put something over the lip part, the makeup part. So let me think about the enabling thing. Okay, so enabling. Did any of you guys watch that little live I put in our Crafting Moms Facebook group? It's for a really cool woman named Crispina French. And I first kind of like knew about her when I lived in New York City and I was working as a costume designer, because she's a textile recycle person. Oh, Jamie, I'm so sorry. So I put she has a live every Tuesday. It's called, I don't know. You guys, if you go over into our Crafting Mamas group, you can look at it. Anyway, I just thought you guys might be interested. She's doing this summit, this It's like a recycling textile summit with a bunch of other people. And it's like 3 days, and I think you get to list. Think it's like they record it, and I think it's I think you get the replay. But I didn't know if any of you guys would be interested in it. But she is super cool. Jamie, I can't even imagine, because girl, I'm empathic too. So I think most women are empaths. I think you have to be in order to, have children. And I couldn't do it. It's just like I can't. It's like I can't watch anything that's like really close to real. It affects me. And I know you guys must have all seen the horrible shootings in Brooklyn. That was horrible. And I was supposed to craft and chat with a friend today, and then she just messaged me and she said, my cousin's missing, or, and lives in Brooklyn. And I was like, oh my gosh, but thank goodness he ended up being okay. But so anyway, if you guys are interested in the Crispina French thing, I put it in the Crafting Mamas Facebook group because I thought somebody might be interested in it. It looks like it's a pretty cool summit all about recycling textiles and upcycling. Oh, Jamie, I love you, girl. I'm so sorry. Thanks for the thumbs up, friends. So let's talk about enabling. Let's see, craft stash enabling. So you guys, I've really gotten my dyeing on, my avocado onion skin dyeing on. I have been, because I put down too much glue and it's just going to make the book stick together. I don't even know if I like this thing there. Should try to find something I like. This is what I get because I don't even have any clips. I know that I have some clips, but where are they? Are there any on this desk? Probably not. That would make my life way too easy. I'm going to just stick this in there for a second while I look for something to go on that page. Let me look in the back of the book. I got a bunch of stuff. Anyway, so I thought maybe some of you guys might be interested because I know a lot of you are upcyclers like me, and I didn't know if any of you guys would be interested in that summit. But she has a lot of free content on her channel, but she also, I think, I haven't been to her other channels. I think she does Twitter and Instagram. You begged them not to put you on the jury because it was too much. I'm so sorry, Jamie. I haven't been to her other platforms. So if you guys are interested in serious upcycling, you should definitely go and check her out. She is, you guys, I think she's like a pioneer in the upcycling movement. I've known about her for a long time. I used to see her at flea markets in New York City. She would, like these eyes too. I used to see her at flea markets in New York City, and she is super cool. She is like a pioneer. Like she makes these. Remember when you were a kid and you made those pot holder? Oh, I like this better. You made those pot holder. Those braided pot holder things that you would make. You know what I'm talking about? Like they're like braided pot holders. They were like little looms or whatever, and you had like stretchy things, and you did over and under, over and under. Well, she makes those looms for huge rugs, and she teaches. She may even have one on her YouTube channel. I didn't check it and see, but she has she makes huge rugs like that. And it's, like the weaving, but it's like, didn't you guys ever get those pot holder looms when you were a kid? They have like little pegs on all four sides. And we used to make pot holders in grade school, and that would be like our Christmas gift to our parent mother or whatever. Well, she does that, but very large rugs. And she does it with like reusable t-shirts and all kinds of fabric. She's super cool. So I put that in our Facebook group. I also put this lady that I really love her junk journals, and you guys go check her out. I put her, she is, I want it to be a 9. I don't want it to be a 6. Let's see. Anyway, she is, I need more glue. The lady that I shared a couple of her junk journal videos. I think her name is Darlene. Hi, Jean. Her name is Darlene. Anyway, if you guys go over to our Facebook group, you'll see her in there. I just really, really, really like her junk journaling. And I thought maybe you guys might like her too. So check her out. She does some really fun, innovative magazine journals that I really like. So check her out. I just put like 1 or 2 of her videos in there, but posted it in our group. But you go check it out. Hi, Kathy. How are you? You're with the babies. Oh gosh. Hi, Scotty. Well, I'm just saying that that's the lady that I put in our. She was doing a live stream today. It was like called. Her name is Crispina French with 2 F's. And she was like doing the recycle. She's the recycling person that's doing that summit, the recycling summit. I just thought maybe one of you guys would be interested in it because it's pretty cool. The other lady, I don't know. I just like her videos. Oh, Jean, I'm so happy for you with your babies. You have to post some pictures of your babies. Scotty, you should also post when it's your mom's birthday, when it's Ham Necklace's birthday. Scotty, how old is your mom going to be? Because we all should send her a Christmas card, birthday cards. Sure. Your mom is like, Miss Olivia had her birthday. Hey, Bo, how are you, girl? So you guys check her out. Let me see if I can. Let me look at my Facebook group and I'll put the ladies thing in there. Oh, let me put the lady, the Crispina. I'll put both of them, Crispina and the other lady. I posted it, both of them in our Crafting Moms group. And you guys feel free to share people you enjoy too in there, because I always love when I always like it when we meet when we find new people that we go, you know. Okay, the other lady that I put in there was, oh my gosh, what is her name? And I really like all her videos. Darlene Winter. Guys, I was going to call her something else. Not terrible. Okay, so Darlene Winter was one, and she's awesome. You wish you could close caption? Okay, that's Darlene Winter. You guys go check her out. Look at her magazine journals. They're like phenomenal. And then the other person that I told you guys was, and what was so funny was I posted her channel in in the Crafting Mamas group, not just Darlene, but this other one. And one of the people goes, okay, that took me down a rabbit hole for 2 hours. You guys, not my intention. Not my intention. But she was on live and I happened to be I happened to see it. So this is the textile lady that's been like, you guys should look at her stuff. She's super cool. That lady up there was Miss Winter, and then this one is Crispina French. Guys, I think you might like them. I mean, it's just something different. But the lady, I don't want to call her by the wrong name. The lady, Darlene Winter, I like her work. I have never seen her. I don't even know. How I even found her, but I like her work. It's pretty cool. And I think you guys will like it too. Hey, Miss Malia, how are you? Gina, I'm so happy you get to be with those babies. That's so awesome. I don't know how she does it. For those of you that don't know, Jane's daughter had twins. I mean, one newborn would be enough, but 2? Oh my goodness. Do they at least kind of sleep at the same time, or, you know, I don't know. I don't really know about having twins. Maybe some of you guys do. I'm just trying to like glue some extra pages together. So, did you guys go over and do bingo with Kathy last night? I did not get to come over, but I was thinking of you guys. I have had crazy amounts of stuff I've had to do. And how many of you guys are like, I think I'm I don't want to say an avid procrastinator, but I was like waiting, had all the stuff I needed to do, and then I didn't end up getting to do it until really late. And then the next thing you know, I'm down the rabbit hole of like working on stuff that I should have done last week. Okay. Not going to lie. Should have done it last week. You want some baby cuddles? Oh, yes. I imagine twins are exhausting. Totally. Raising your hand quietly for the back of the room. What, Diana? Did I miss what you said? Jean, she said she doesn't know how you guys do it. Twins are hard. They are. Do they have a similar? Yeah. Do they have a similar sleep schedule? What's going on? What are you asking, Dee? Did I miss your comment? You guys, sometimes I'm looking at the screen, but I don't see it. I don't know why, but I just don't. It's like dumb. I'm going to save this. I figure if I find something to go in here, I'm going to cut out the fingers and put something inside of it. What, I don't know. Procrastinator. Oh my God. You guys. Okay, so I told you that Blake got all this furniture and stuff from his family, right? And then I told you that my little house sitter, my lovely house sitter, that didn't want to leave and packed a lot of it. I didn't ask her to. I mean, I'm grateful that she did, but it's like I'm living in somebody else's house. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Jamie. So it's like I go to look for something and I've seen it, no idea where it is. Also, I have to realize like Blake is like 6'4" and I'm like 5'2". So he put stuff up like the other day. I was like looking for the colander, and I said, I know we have a colander. I know we have a colander because I've made pasta. Because I couldn't find it. I was looking. He put it like on the top shelf of some freestanding shelf thing that I would never have seen. And we don't have a ladder. So, I was like, okay, well, this is pretty ridiculous. So I could use some of these images in a food journal. I was going to make a recipe book. So I decided I was going to attempt to like reorganize all this stuff that somebody else has put up in my house. You guys, that's like ridiculous. That's like, because I don't even know what it is. I think part of the reason that you need to unpack your own house is so you know what's there, so yeah. So that was me. I was just like, it was ridiculous. This is one of my favorite books to make a junk journal from. It's like an exotic houseplant book from forever ago. I like it because, like, look at the back. So cool. Like, so when you just put a pocket over it, and I take all the pages out, and, it's got cool illustrations. But I thought maybe I have several. I've collected several over the years. And so hi, Flo. How are you? You need to replace the batteries in your keyboard? Oh, I'm so sorry. Malia said she splurged and she got some, I don't have my glasses on. So what did you get? Some hemp lotion. And it's worth it? Ooh, okay. You're in love. Oh, I love it. Hi, Dania. How are you, girl? So anyway, My procrastination is beyond anything. I need to really just, because what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go through every cabinet, take out what I'm not going to use, box it up to donate it or have a yard sale at some point. And then, but I haven't done it. Okay. I was going to, and I didn't. And I'm tired of going through all the cabinets and never being able to find what I need. It's just, yeah. So all the more reason that I should have unpacked everything myself. Because if I had unpacked it as I was unpacking it, right, I could have said yes or no, I want to keep it. Now I've just got drawers and cabinets full of stuff that I don't even know what's in there. And then I don't even know if I want to keep it. So, yeah. So I promised myself I'd do that because I can't find anything and it's very frustrating. And then I have all of this stuff, you guys, that I have to figure out where to put it. And I explained to you guys the whole dilemma of an old house that I didn't think about when I bought this one. Hi, Cassandra, which was my dilemma was they don't have closets. Only 2 of the bedrooms have closets. There's no hall closet. There's no bathroom closet. So I don't have any place to put any towels or anything like that. I need to get get the stuff that you would cabinets and stuff. And guys, I just haven't even felt like it. Hey, Dana. Hey, Leslie. How are you, girl? I have not felt like it. It's okay, so I was going to go out and do it the other day. I was going to go out. There was a whole bunch of estate sales and yard sales on, I don't know, Violet, what day did I send you it was snowing. Was it Saturday? It was snowing and then it hailed and then it snowed again. I was like, okay, I'm not driving in that. So you guys, I've been procrastinating, but at some point, hey, Susan, how are you, girl? But at some point I have to, because I have no place, there's no place to put a house built in 1905, which this house is built. I don't know what kind of furniture they had. They must have had those. Malia, don't you have one of those cabinets? What is the cabinet? The kitchen cabinet? What's it called? It's called, oh my God. You guys, what's the kitchen cabinet called that has for all of your flour and sugar and all that stuff? What's it called? A Hoosier? Well, yeah. So how are you, Miss Poe? How are you? Wasn't it your birthday not that long ago? You and Miss Ann Lair share the same birthday. Everybody wish Miss Hottie Poe a happy belated birthday, and Miss Ann Lair, if you weren't here the day we sang to Ann. Yeah, like a cupboard thing, Cassandra. Yeah. So my bathroom doesn't even have that in there. So I've got to first world problems, right? What I really need is I need a wife, okay? Trying to digest dinner. What'd you cook? Did you cook or did our lovely Miss Beck cook? You guys, with Blake gone, you guys want to know what I'm having for dinner? I offered to cook for Seisha. She doesn't want to eat whatever I'm cooking. So then you guys having yogurt, blueberries, and granola, keto granola. I am not, yeah. I said to her, I can cook. I gave her some suggestions and she was like, I took her to have Chinese food a couple days yesterday. And she's like, I'd rather just have my leftover Chinese. I said, good for me. Good go. Bet made tacos. Oh, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Give her my love. So I've been super lazy. He's not, and he was supposed to come home today. He's now not coming home till Thursday. Okay, can we just talk about Can we just talk about how he's he did not plan this trip well, and he's had like all kinds of stuff go, and I've had to keep my mouth shut. I have kept my mouth shut. I have not said anything, even though I've wanted to. I've really wanted to, but I didn't say anything. I did not say one word. So when he told me that he had to like extend his trip because, what he thought he could get through and what he actually could get through were two different things, I didn't say anything. I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." So then, you guys, most of the flights that leave out of Hawaii leave like at nighttime. So he's catching a plane. And I told him this was the absolute worst time to go because this is spring break. You guys, the prices are ridiculous. You had tacos in a Mexican restaurant. Ooh. We do have some good Mexican food here. I have to tell you, way better than Maui. Way better than Maui. So flights that leave Hawaii leave really late. So the only flight he could change his flight to leaves at 10 o'clock tonight, but it has a 21-hour layover in Las Vegas. Because why? It's spring break. Otherwise, it would have cost him like, I don't know, like $1,000. Isn't she kind of cool? So I didn't say anything. So the only good thing he has going for him is that my sister lives in Las Vegas. So she's going to pick him up at the airport. Susan says there's an anonymous fertility clinic in Indiana called Who's Your Daddy? Oh my God. Oh my God. I love that. The paper doll lady is cool. Well, she came out of my favorite book. If you guys ever see one of these, I mean, don't go out of your way to buy one, but they're always in a used bookstore. I don't know why. No, it's like I think I just like it because of the crazy colors. But it has some good illustrations. But I'm going to take it apart and make a junk journal out of the cover. But I'm just cutting up the lady because I have a couple of them. Oh my God, Who's Your Daddy? That's a good one, Suze. No, so he is. I said, "Oh," I was trying to be all surprised. I was like, "Oh, a 21-hour layover. Oh, I'm so sorry." In my head, I'm like going, "Oh my gosh." You know what I mean? I'm just shaking my head thinking, "Fool." But I didn't say it. Just thought it. Just thought it. Fool. So my sister's going to pick him up from the airport. So he doesn't have to, with COVID, I don't know, do they even let you stay in the airport anymore? Like, I don't know if they do. I like her, but I need other stuff to go with her. Oh, I know what I have. Let me see. I don't even know if they'll let him stay in the airport. I kind of said something to him like that. I kind of said, well, I don't know if they're going to let you stay in the airport. And then there was like dead silence on his part. So whatever. I just got to let it go. It's like, sometimes you just can't fix it. You just can't work with it, right? It's like, I just can't. Oh, if you guys ever see one of these books, I've had this for a while. I did bring it from Hawaii with me. Look at the plates in it. I think it's excellent. Well, this one's one. There's some, I guess, obviously mine's not in pristine condition, but look at the plates. They'd be great for you have no idea. You guys, I've had to really bite my tongue and not say things, not say like what I'm really thinking. I just let it go. I just was like, yeah, okay. It's like, oh, so sorry. Whatever. I told you guys last time he had to sleep in his car. I told you that one. This is a really good book. If you want a tea dye or coffee dye, the images, it's really good. I know, right? So I need to teach Bet that and the trick of keeping your restaurant. Susan, it's gotten me in so much trouble because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Hey, Val, it's not worth it with him because it doesn't work with him. Yeah, he doesn't listen anyway. So it's like, whatever, yeah. So I asked him, he just sprung this trip on me. I may cut something out of this. He just sprung this trip on me. he'd obviously been thinking about it for a while, but he just sprung it on me, saying he was going to go because when we left in January, he was going back to do a job. And he did do some of that job while he was there this time. But you guys know as well as I do. I think Rosie sent me these. Thank you, Rosie. You guys know as well as I do that you can't, like, he thought he was going to go work this job. And then on top of it, he was going to go through all of his things that he had left in his art studio that we didn't take out, and some stuff that I'd left as well. And I just said to him, is it really necessary that you do it at this time? And he was like, well, we're paying storage and this and that. And you guys, he left his truck there. He left a truck so that he'd have transportation and all the stuff. So I assumed, this was me, wrong assumption, but I just assumed if you were planning on a trip, you guys, staying in Maui, the hotels are crazy expensive, okay? When he took the job, it wasn't as a person that didn't live there. It was as like a local person because we were living there at the time. So he, I'm breaking up. Oh no. Am I really? Okay. Let me see. Hang on. The lag is bad. All right, give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. 2 seconds. I don't know what it is because nobody's here except maybe my lovely daughter's gaming. So hold on. Hey, Sage. Can you go off the internet? I'm only going to be on a little while longer, but I might have a terrible connection. Can you get off just for a little bit? And turn the TV off too downstairs. All right, you guys, see if that helps. If that doesn't help, I don't know what to do because there's nobody here. And we just got this crazy internet upgrade. What? Hey, Riri, is it better or worse? You guys, I can't tell. It's like, I don't know what to do. I'm plugged directly in. I'm plugged directly into the internet. Like I'm plugged into the box. I'm hardwired in right now. So I don't know what to do. I'm good now. Thanks for refreshing, you guys. I just asked her to get off. So I would have thought if it had been me and I had planned a trip, if I had planned a trip to Hawaii, I would have made all the appropriate. Oh, I always liked that. I would have made the appropriate arrangements, right? And you guys, he's like leaving to go to Hawaii, and you know, he's like telling me like where his painting stuff is and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm listening. And then he says, I just said, one of our friends happened to call me about something. And I just mentioned that Blake was going. And he said, oh, well, if he's around, tell him to give me a call if he needs a place to stay. Now, up until then, I didn't even think about that. I assumed that if Blake was going, he had figured it out. Well, I assumed wrong. So he gets there. And the friend that said, oh, just tell him to call me, of course, had something come up or whatever, which happens, you guys. And then, so instead of Blake making, like, I would have assumed he made other arrangements. He didn't discuss it with me that he was going. He didn't like sit down and go, okay, I'm going to do this and this. I'm not his mother. So you guys, the first night he had to sleep in his truck, and I tried not to laugh. I didn't laugh. I wanted to laugh, but I didn't laugh. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Guys, it's taken me all this time just to finally get to keep my mouth shut. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm laughing to myself. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. So can you imagine if you have to work, like, and the job he was doing was sort of hard. If you have to work and then you have to sleep in your truck. Anyway. He's all good now. He's on his way back. He had to made his trip longer, finished the job. I don't know if he's going to go back and do any more of the job or the work there, but he did it. So I had to keep my mouth shut, though. It was all I could do. You guys, I really, really wanted to say something. Really wanted to say something like, I wasn't very good planning or whatever, but I didn't. What happened? What did I miss? You have a good, but Val, we have friends there. He just did not he didn't do the right thing. Like he did not, I don't know. You guys, we've been together a long time. I just don't know. I don't know if it's a man thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Anyway, he ended up staying. We have friends. He just didn't, I don't know what he was thinking, Val. I'm just trying to stay out of it because you guys, the past few months have been so hectic for both of us. And think about it. He had his dad in memory care and all that stuff. And that was like crazy. And that was ridiculous. And his dad living with us and us finding the memory care. And then I haven't even told you guys what's transpired since then, but it's like almost not even worth it. But he's definitely had a rough few months, but I'm just trying to stay out of it because let's just face it, Val. Do you think if I had said something to him, I'm not so sure that it would have been, I'm not so sure it would have gone over well. The man thing, but give him a break. No, he is an awesome packer. He is. And so for those of you guys that have bought wallpaper books, I haven't shipped them out because the packing guy is gone. But I will. He'll be back on Thursday. So I'll try to get everybody invoiced and all your stuff packed out for those that bought from my little video. But I'm just telling you. So yeah. So then he's just trying to like get it all together. He's a great packer, Val. You guys, he's a great partner. But I'm just saying, like, he still has the MAN. You know what I mean? He still has the MAN. Okay, I like her. But it's sticky right here. Yeah. So for those of you guys that want to make along, I am going to make a rag quilt. What I thought maybe we would all do together to begin with, you need a sewing machine. I don't know. You probably could sew it by hand, but you need 3 layers of fabric. And I figured maybe we would start off and make like a 10 by 10 square so that everybody can make one. And then we could venture out to I'm going to make mine out of blue jeans. What did you say, Dee? You wonder if he ever watches you? I don't know. If he does, he'll hear. You guys, it is what it is. I don't care. I told him to his face. I didn't laugh at him, though. I wanted to, though. He ended up staying with a friend, and then one night, after he slept in his car one night, and he ended up staying with a friend on the other side of the island one night, and then he stayed with our other friend the rest of the time. You want to make one out of flannel? Okay, so maybe let's plan on next week because I'm not going to do a live stream on Friday because I told you guys we're going away, and we're going away for the first time in like, you guys, it has been so freaking long since we've gone away. So we're going away. So let's plan next Tuesday. I will have gotten myself together next Tuesday, and we'll come together and discuss what you need to make one. And we'll make we'll make a sample. So I'll try to figure it out between now and then exactly what we need for a sample. And I'll do it both with hand sewing and with machine sewing. So that way, if anybody doesn't have a machine, you can. This is an English book. I love these Harbrace College handbooks. You guys, if you look at this one, Judy, I worked in it for like 2 years. I love them. I don't know why. I think the size, and they just expand. Like, look, this is one that is fully, like, I don't know if every page is done, but a lot is. But you can see it expands and it doesn't fall apart. So, and I've started gluing some pages. I try to glue a couple pages together, two together. So next Tuesday I will come together with you guys and show you, like, we'll make a sample of like a 10 by, we'll do like a 10 by 10 square, and we'll cut it up, and I'll move my camera to do it at the sewing machine, but we can also do it. I'll try to figure out how to do it by hand as well. So anybody that wants to can participate. And if we make one, like if we make a 10 by 10 square, you could use that as a traveler's notebook. Like you could use that as a cover for a traveler's notebook. You know? So that's what we'll do on Tuesday, and I'll have it together by then. I have time, you guys, I have all my fabric and everything ready over there, but it's just been, guys, it's been what it has been. Yeah, I like these. I got mine. You can buy them anywhere, but I got mine when I used to do a crafting retreat on Maui, and I bought like a bunch of them. I found them all over, and I bought a bunch of them from the little used bookstore there. And so then this was like somebody's introduction to a glue book, and then they could go home, and it wasn't something so precious that it mattered if they messed it up or tore it apart. But I love them. I think you can probably buy them. I don't know if you can buy them on Amazon, but I know you can buy them like on Abe Books or someplace like that. At one point in time, I had a hefty amount of them. I don't anymore. You actually have a 10 by 10 square? Oh, good. Well, in a rag quilt, what you do is you cut up pieces. You need 3 layers. You don't need batting. So if you're going to do it, because you need it to fray on the sides, so you can use 2 pieces of cotton and maybe a piece of flannel in between, or you can do cotton, and flannel, or you can really make it from anything. I'm going to make mine from jeans, but I'll also make a 10 by 10 square out of cotton, so we can all be doing the same thing. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm sorry, you guys, if the internet's bad. I don't know what to do about it, you guys. I really don't. It's like we upgraded our internet. I'm actually hardwired in. I don't know. So it'll end up being a finished 10 by 10, but it'll be like you'll cut up small pieces, to make the, because I'm going to make an upcycled jean, blue jean quilt for Seisha's room. You guys, it's cold here. It's actually cold here. Cold for me. I mean, it's subjective, right? It's not cold like East Coast cold, but it's cold enough for me. So it is cold enough for me. So you have 10 different fabrics. So we'll just get together and we'll talk about it on Tuesday. Just bring some scraps. Guys, the only thing I would tell you not to make it out of is knits, because you need a fabric that's going to fray. So fabrics that are going to be fraying are going to be more natural fabrics like cottons, flannel, jeans. Think about things like that. Somebody I saw you probably can make it with like a natural woven fabric, but I just don't know how well. You don't want it to fray enough to come apart. You know what I mean? To totally disintegrate. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. Anyway, it'll be a good process. It'll be a good process and a good experiment for us, and we can all do it together, and we'll be like, it'll be fun. You have a box of leftover fabric. That's perfect. Yeah, we had snow. I told you guys it sleeted and snowed, and that was the day I was supposed to go. They had all these amazing yard sales and thrift stores. I mean, not thrift sales, estate sales. You guys, it was snowing, then it was sleeting. It was snowing and sleeting, and then after it sleeted, it snowed again. So I was just like, forget this. I'm not, and you guys, I'm not, big rigs are not my jam. Driving in crazy traffic is not my jam. So I kind of like bailed. I was a total wimp. Total and absolute wimp. Total wimp. So needless to say, I am not any closer to being organized. I am not any closer to being organized at all. So there you go. I am not any closer to being organized at. You know, I love this house and I would have picked it no matter what, but I just didn't think very clearly about the lack of closets. Like, I don't even think I even looked at it like that. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? Hey, Laura. Who has a birthday? Anne had a birthday. Hadi Po had a birthday. Who else had a birthday that we missed recently? I just don't like the way this is. Anne, what did you do for your birthday? Did you do something fun, I hope? Lack of closets kills you, girl. The other thing is I can't hide anything. I can't like if you have company, how you want to like hide your whatever, like, I don't know, like you don't want to have to clean up everything. You just throw it in a closet. Non-existent in a house like this. Does not exist in a house like this. Okay, I need to find something else. I'm not crazy about that. So I was like, okay. So also one of my sweet friends, I love her so much. She was like, I want to see you. Want to come see you? Are you ready for guests? Guys, I was like, no. You were in Utah for your birthday? Oh, happy belated. Under the bed storage boxes work. Oh, Val. If only everything that I needed to store would just be kindly fit under the bed. Guys, I have way too, yeah. It's like, yeah. And Blake's, he said he's shipping me 2 boxes home. I was like, okay. And so that's what I was in. Hey, so he did his job. He did the work. He did the job. He did all that stuff. And then he started going through our stuff and he got rid of a bunch of stuff. I mean, we went through it together. And then the rest of it, he stored it in our friend's garage because you guys, shipping prices have more than doubled, at least from the tropics. I don't know about regular shipping prices, but he's shipping big, heavy boxes. Shipping prices have more than doubled. Isn't that crazy? Oh, it's ridiculous. You couldn't get them out from under the bed? You're so funny. Well, for me personally, it's just ridiculous. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So he didn't really. We are going to have to go back anyway. My girlfriend, she has a big detached garage. She lives in an old cane house, Val, but it has like a detached garage, and we have everything in those yellow and black tubs because you guys, bugs are really bad in the tropics. Like, I can't even tell you, but they're bad. So he left. We got rid of a lot. He donated a lot, and then we left some in our friends. Oh, no, like the same thing. Oh, I agree. Who did you lose, Jamie? I'm sorry, I missed the thing. The same box that I shipped to myself in January that cost me, like, I don't know, $60 or $70 to ship, and it was a big, huge, heavy box. It was like $205. Jamie, whose birthday was it? I missed it. I'm sorry, I was, like, looking down. Tomorrow's your sister's birthday? Oh, Jamie. I love you, girl. So what are you gonna? You know what I do every time? I celebrate my parents. I lost both my parents a long time ago, but I celebrate both of their birthdays and I celebrate both of the days that they passed. And my sister and I call each other, and then like we try to do something that our parents would have done. Like our dad was like obsessed with pizza and Mexican food, so on his birthday, one of us goes. We go to like we go to have pizza and Mexican food. And then our mom was like, our mom was a dancer and she loved like all kinds of fun things like that. So we try to go to we try to go somewhere, like some place we would have taken her. So we try to do that. I love you. I love you, Jamie. I'm so sorry. So that's what we try to do for the birthdays and the passing days. But I know it's not easy. And your sister was young, so I think it's even harder when your family members are young. So those that want to make a long on Tuesday, just bring some scrap fabric. Even if you make a very small little sample, because the idea is to get the hang of it, and then you can figure out what you're going to make in a bigger version. You're shooting for May 14th for your virtual housewarming. Oh, yeah, I get it. Jamie, I get it. I totally, absolutely get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. You guys, I need my clips. I feel like I need to just spend one whole day organizing my stuff, which I haven't done. You guys, I haven't done it. I've had so many things I've had to do, and with all the stuff that's happened between Violet getting sick and my mother-in-law and all that stuff, it's been like, I haven't done it. I'm not going to lie. I have not done it. And the other thing is I can unpack stuff, but if I don't have anything to unpack it into, like, what am I going to do? Val, that is beautiful. And I think Chemo would have loved it. He would love it. He would love your new house. Your house looks amazing, by the way. For all of you guys don't know, Val used to live in Hawaii like me. She lived on the island of Oahu for a long, long time. And she had a house built in Arizona, and she just moved in. They just completed it, and she just moved in. So I think it's awesomely beautiful. And for those of you that don't know, I also moved from Hawaii, but I moved to North Carolina. It's a tad colder. Tad colder. You guys, this is just a glue book for no reason. So it is a beautiful tribute. That is very special. That is very special, Val. I agree with them. Very, very special. So how many of you guys watched the crafting, the video that I put up of the lady Darlene Winter? Did you guys look at her junk journal? She made this magazine junk journal, and you guys know how obsessed with magazine journals I am. But I thought hers was particularly fabulous. And she doesn't have very many subscribers, so I thought, wow, that'll be great if we all just like go over and. Oh, your son spread your younger brother's ashes in the ocean. Oh, Anne, that's beautiful. I'm so sorry for your loss. Hi, Amberly. How are you, girl? Her journal was awesome, wasn't it? You guys go over and watch her. I put her link in the description above. Let me see if it's still here, if I still have it on my, let's see. This is Crispina French, the lady who does the recycling. And then she does recycling. Oh my gosh, she does recycling. She's like a clothes recycler, like a textile recycler. And then let me put this other lady. I think I don't know how I found her, you guys. I don't have any idea. Like I found her and then I was like, oh my gosh, I have to like, she was like super, she's like super cool. And this is the other lady. And I posted her. She's got several magazine junk journals. But you guys go over and look at, she's got this really cool snippet roll. Did you guys look at that one? So cool. Yes, these are Amazon glue sticks. This is Anne's fall. Everybody can blame Miss Anne Lair right there. This is the other lady. Her name is Darlene Winter. I think she's cool. Go look at her magazine junk journals. This works just as good as Elmer's Extreme, which is my favorite glue of choice as far as glue books go. I don't like wet glue for a glue book, at least a glue book like this. I mean, maybe wet glue is fine for a, you know, for a thicker page glue book or something like that. I just don't like it. You guys have to, I think we all have our own like glue of choice. Some of us are, I'm more of a glue snob, I think, in some ways. Oh, I love them. Are you kidding? I love this glue stick. And they're not that expensive. They have two kinds. They have the purple kind, and then they have this one that's called all purpose. I love it. Yeah, like Fabri-Tac, but it's kind of expensive Fabri-Tac acetone glue. I don't notice, except that this is cheaper. Like Amazon, I mean, if I bought a big fat Elmer's Extreme, that's expensive. I like her. I'm going to save her for something else. I don't know what they were in Hawaii, but they were, everything in Hawaii is more expensive. Because I really liked this. I saved it. I don't remember whose ad it was from, but I saved it and dragged it all the way with me. You embrace the wrinkles. I get it. This is a 1.27 ounce. I don't know. They come in a large volume. I bought I don't remember how they come. And how do they come? Do they come in the dozens? How do they come? How does the Amazon glue stick come? Guys, it's been so long since I bought them. I bought them way back when Anne told me I needed to buy them. Anne said I needed to buy it, so I bought it. Okay. Hi, Charlene. Charlene says they're $10.31 for a dozen. So I think I was paying for Elmer's Extreme. I think I was paying like $3 a glue stick for Elmer's Extreme. What were you guys, how many of you guys have bought the Elmer's Extreme, and what were you paying for it? Anybody want to pipe in? You guys, I really have to I have to go and scour and find myself some good magazines so that I can, and I ordered some from Recycle Bank, but I didn't get them. They just I don't know. Maybe Recycle Bank's just not happy with me. I don't know. Might cut this up a little. Amazon Basics large permanent non-toxic bulk glue sticks, 1.27 ounces or 12 pack for $10.31. That's really good. Or 14. $13 for a 60 pack. Wow, that's really amazing. That's really good. Yeah, occasionally that is a great buy. Occasionally, when we would have back to school specials or whatever, you know how like you go to like Office Max or whatever and they have like an after school the back to school special. I would get Elmer's Extreme for a little bit cheaper, but not much. And Anne was like telling us all one time, eons, many moons ago, how much she liked the Elmer's Extreme. And so I was like right on it, I was like, all right. I mean, I know they're super cheap. And I mean, I guess if you're just gluing in a book like we are, it really doesn't matter. But for me, it was like, it was like, I'm not doing, it was too pricey for what it was. At least that's what I thought. You bought a lot? You need to find them. Girl, I'm telling you, I think that I got here with my glue. You guys, I was going to buy myself a couple of those carts, the carts that come from IKEA or what kind of carts are they called? You know what I'm talking about. I was going to buy myself a couple of those carts and I was going to buy myself a couple of those carts and I was going to just get like some semblance of like a little bit of I have a small bookshelf in here where I am, and I was just going to get myself some, like that, a little bit of organization like that going on in here. I haven't yet. 60 is the 0.24 ounces. Wow. I think, you know what, Anne, I think Defy would take anything. They would like liquid glue or glue sticks because they send, you guys, if Jean's around, she can tell you, we have something like 164 Happy Packers, which are, people, some disabled artists, and she sends much smaller things to them, but I know glue is a staple. And then they have, I don't know how many regular artists we have, 70, close. It used to be 100, but I don't know. Maybe it's still 100. I don't know. But, yeah, they would like any glue. I could wheel myself around. Oh my gosh, Anne, I don't know. You guys, what I really need to do is I just need to like delve in and figure out what I want in this room and then just organize it. But I haven't. And I kind of don't want to buy like brand new stuff. So I've been like kind of, scouring around for when people have yard sales and when they have yard sales and when they have estate sales. I mean, it'll take a little while. Oh, please come help me, Malia. Malia, you would just close your eyes and cry because I don't have it. There's no, like in one room right next to me, it's just boxes. And I don't have any place to put it. So I can't even unpack it. I don't know. I did get I do have some furniture that was my furniture before I moved to Hawaii. Some of it is in storage near where my mother-in-law, it used to be at my mother-in-law's house, but I moved it out a couple of years ago. My ex-mother-in-law, the one that passed away last week or 2 weeks ago. I have some furniture there, and hopefully when Blake gets back, we'll go and get it. But it's kind of a drive to Boston, and the weather hasn't been great. And I know I have some storage stuff there, like some furniture that would be great for storage. You cry every time you're in your crafty space. Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know. I started like unpacking all this stuff and different stuff, and I just don't have a place to put it. So it's like I can unpack it and look at it and then put it back in the box. I've been looking for some inexpensive, I think Rosie gave me these. These are so cool. Rosie from Creative Wings. If you guys haven't gone to her channel, she is so creative. She's awesome. Anyway, I started looking for like plastic see-through bins, because I thought if I could see through it, then I'd really, like big ones, then I'd really know what was in it. I don't know, guys. I started looking at them and then I couldn't even decide like what size I wanted. I just need to get the shelves first. You know what I think I might do is get those shelves that I had. Do you guys remember when I had my crafting space like in my dining alcove in that one house I lived in? And I had it was like a big industrial shelf that came from like Lowe's or Home Depot. It was like metal and then it had really deep shelving in it. And I had these big bins in it. I'm going to go for. You started to weed out stuff to downsize for your move, and now there's a mess 3 times worse. Oh, please. Yep. Well, the one thing I have been doing is Malia and I are going to have a joint sale on the 23rd, and I have been dyeing lace and fabric for that. So I've been, I'm going to have like little lace packs and some fabric, some small little fabric bundles so far I'm just using like cool natural dyes, so they're not super vivid. Like when you dye with a RIT dye, it's really intense, but when you dye with like a natural dye, they're like much more muted. Yeah, those metal shelves, I think they're usually for people's garages, Cassandra. So I'm thinking of getting, just because I had one of those in my dining alcove in Hawaii, and it worked really well. I had 2 of them, actually, and it worked really well. And I had big, huge bins on them. So I'm thinking of doing that in one of the rooms here. And what should be a bedroom, but not. You used to have a Calyx unit from IKEA. Okay, I'll look it up. I think we're going to do it on the 23rd from like noon to 5, or maybe noon to 6 or 7. I don't know. It'll depend upon it, but it won't be before noon. Unless Malia gets a wild hair and wants to do it before noon. So, yeah. So that's what Malia's got a bunch of cool old books and some cool stuff. She's got all kinds of cool stuff. Mine's, I think, mostly going to be, I don't know. I might have some ledger packs. I just have all these ledgers that I haven't like broken down. I don't know. We'll see. But I think I'm really going to focus on the lace and the fabric because I have a lot of it. I got a lot of lace because I don't even have a cutting mat here, so I can't even cut this part out. Yeah, I'm not noon is good. You have one and you're going to get a couple more. Oh, that's good, Cassandra. Good for you. Good for you. Thank you guys for a thumbs up. So what are you guys working on? What's on your crafty? You guys have big Easter plans? Guys, I didn't even realize it was Easter weekend until I started suddenly seeing all these advertisements for chocolate bunnies. All these advertisements on YouTube for chocolate bunnies and chocolates. And I was like, oh. So, do you guys all have big Easter plans? We don't. Blake and I are going to go away for a couple days. And I imagine, guys, when all my kids were home, I used to do like the full out, like Easter, the full out dinners, all that stuff. When it's just us, cooking all that for just the 3 of us, it's like, I don't know. Am I like being a spoiled sport? I mean, if I was going to have company, I certainly would cook, but it's just me and Blake and Sasha. Forget it. Forget about it. Forget about it. If it's just the 3 of us, I'm not doing it. What are you doing? You're taking the kids to the zoo. Oh, that'll be nice. But see, you have little kids, Amberly. When you have little kids, Easter egg hunts and the Easter bunny and all that is so fun. When all your kids have grown, It's just like what it is. If my other kids were gonna be here, I would make a big old dinner. But it's just the 3 of us. If we let Seisha pick, she's gonna pick Chinese food because she's obsessed with Chinese food. Don't ask me why. She loves Chinese food. Chinese food's her jam. She is a Chinese food aficionado. Your mom told you today that to be at her house by 2 on Sunday. I said, okay, why? And she totally didn't realize it was Easter. Oh my gosh. You're going to go visit friends in Cape Canaveral? Oh, that'll be fun, Anne. Aw. You found your Easter wreath? Aw, that's nice, Val. You guys, I don't even have any of that anymore. I left it all in Hawaii. Hey, Julianne, how are you? You're making a golden book journal and finally have been trying to get it done for months. Oh, girl, I have so many unfinished projects. They're just ridiculous. You don't have any plans? Yeah, Easter kind of snuck up on you this year yet. Oh, that's good. You got your stuff. You're a burrito babe. You could eat a tofu burrito. Oh, you guys, I don't know. So we're not gonna do anything on Easter. I did get a few things for Sage for Easter, but I got her like a headphone, like things for, lipstick, like cosmetics. I'll make her a small Easter basket. But other than that, I'm not doing it. What about turmeric? What did you say, Riri, about turmeric? Hang on, I gotta go back up and okay, boom. When your movers left, you were surprised that the craft room was not that full. Oh, that's good. Oh, you're finding craft room boxes in all the other rooms. I'm gonna have to look up that thing. What were you talking about, Riri, about turmeric? What about the coloring? Well, what I've been doing is I've had you're cooking a Butterfield leg of lamb. Oh my gosh. Coming right over. Good for you. I came from a family that always celebrated all that, but I have to tell you, my kids were not that into it. I mean, yeah, I used to like make special dinners and stuff. I don't know. My mom's mother was sort of religious, so we always celebrated those types of holidays. My family, my parents were not that religious. So it was more of a family, like I don't want to say a family obligatory thing, but it kind of was, like where you'd go to your aunt, great aunt, whoever, and my mother would cook and what have you. Trust me, the family things were fun. My family we always had a festive, fun time. But you guys know I'm spiritual. I am not religious. So let's just face it. Yeah. I'm not religious at all. Spiritual, yes. Religious, no. I liked that. That's like some sort of like, looks like it's a blueprints. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be. You should do you, that works for you. Go for it. Gone. If Blake was into it, I guess I would do it. But I'm not just going to cook a big old thing for just me. I liked this too. I'm not going to, guys, if he's away and I'm eating like yogurt, you can tell how much I'm going to put into it. It's a natural dye that never mutes. Oh, believe me, I cook with turmeric and I've gotten it on myself. Okay. Gotten it on myself. And yeah, those shirts still have turmeric on them. Hey, Jen, how are you, girl? Hey, Miss Carrie, little C. You're hoping for a completely uneventful weekend. I get it. You're teaching Lent this month, and last Saturday you had the children make unleavened bread. Oh, that's beautiful, Cassandra. I don't need to worry about that for myself, Miss Val, but I'm definitely like, no, I'm gonna plant a dye garden. You guys, I'm so excited. I ordered a bunch of seeds and I'm super excited about planting a dye garden. And I had lots of plants and different things like that when I lived in New York that were really meant for dyeing. You know, like you could dye a lot of different things with them, and I should have had a dye garden in Hawaii, but you guys, I was working like 3 jobs and whatever. You know, it's expensive to live in Hawaii, so you're working lots of jobs. You're so funny. Amberly said she's try having a Catholic grandmother. Oh, girl, I was raised Catholic. We don't even have to have that. I lived it. Because I even went to Catholic school for like a minute or two. But maybe that's my aversion to like celebrating. You guys know that you guys were here for my priest story, so you guys know all about me, my Catholic priest stories. Oh Lord, help me. Or I thought I killed the Catholic priest because he told me I needed to be a secretary, and I told him I told him God was going to strike him down or something. I said to him, and then I came on Monday, and he was like, he died over the weekend. Yep. Okay, girls, we know all about the Catholic guilt here. Okay, I lived it. I lived it. Lived it. I don't like this, but I'm just gonna put it there for the minute. You remember that? You guys, I should be scarred for life from my Catholic education. Oh my God. You guys. And then you guys know about my Catholic my Catholic priest love confession, right? I told you guys all about that. So you guys have been with me for everything. I am completely and utterly, yes. This looks like it was like a junk journal kit. This looks like it might have been from like a Defy auction, a junk journal kit that was like a cereal box that says 3 at $5. This must have come from there too. You guys, I didn't get here with much, but I have like an envelope full of stuff, like a few things. And just thought I'd look through it and see what I could find. Yep. Well, I wish everyone a wonderful Easter celebration, however you celebrate it, or you don't, or if it's just with your loved ones and an excuse to get together and be grateful. I wish you that. If you go all out, I wish you the best. You know, I think that's what makes it beautiful is everybody can do their own thing, and it doesn't have to be like, you know, it's beautiful that we can all be different and do our own thing. What do you write about? Like one of your marriages, your mother-in-law was Catholic, and you got married, and the judge asked us what we wanted to wear. We were like, huh? Aloha shirt and a robe. We jumped on robe and just told mother-in-law, He was a priest. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. You're so funny. That is so funny. That is awesome, though. I think that's super awesome. Guys, I gotta build my stash again. I left most. I kept some of my things, but honestly, they didn't all get here yet. Some of it. Blake, he was so funny because I don't think he realized how much postage had gone up until he went to go and mail some stuff, and he was so shocked. He was like the same size box that we shipped to ourselves, and we shipped a lot of stuff to ourselves. I mean, not 10 tons, but enough. And it was like what cost us like $60-$70 to ship was now $200. And I said, well, then just ship a couple of things. But you guys, remember I told you guys he had a water distillery? So he had left his water distilling machine, which I had no idea. I think I'm going to definitely cut out that chair. He had left his water distilling machine. And so he definitely wanted that. And when he went through our stuff, I had left one of my grandmother's quilts that I wanted. I didn't know I left it. But some of it was we had a studio, like a art studio outside of our house. And I think some of the things that I didn't realize we left were there. Because it's kind of like, out of sight, out of mind. I thought he had packed everything up from that, and he did. He just didn't mail it all. So we did leave a hefty amount. So I think we have to go back, and our friend she told us that she may be selling her house. So if she suddenly sells her house, then we may be going back sooner than later and shipping our stuff. But he was kind of hoping that if we waited a little bit, that the prices of things would go down. That, he thinks it's all from the, he thinks it's a Ukrainian war. And because gas is so expensive, everything has gone up like that. That's what he thinks. But I don't know. Hey, Liz, how was your class, girl? So for those of you guys that want to make along next Tuesday, we're going to make a sample piece of a rag quilt. So we're just going to make a really small one you could actually turn into a journal cover. So we're just going to make enough to have a 10 by 10 finished square. So in order to have a 10 by 10 finished square, you probably need, because you have to realize that you need to have a heftier seam allowance because that's what's going to rag. So just bring enough fabric to create a 10 by 10 patchwork square with a 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around. So maybe bring enough to make a 12 by 12, and then we'll cut it down to a 10 by 10. See how much extra baggage will cost? Val, he already did it. When I talked to him earlier, he's leaving tonight. He finished his paint job. He had, he was supposed to do some finished carpentry, but the materials weren't in. So he just did all the high-end painting that they needed. He was supposed to do like, I don't know, some sort of fix some cabinetry in a McMansion there. But they didn't get all the, there's like a shortage of building supplies, and I'm sure definitely high-end building supplies. I don't think it's so I think he did the painting, he did some finished painting and some other stuff, and then I don't know if he's going to go back and if he's going to finish the job or not. That I don't know. I love this chair, but it is too big for my book. Dagnabbit. So let me see. Let me look at that other chair, and I like that rug. This is probably going to be too big too, but I'm going to cut it out anyway. So he's already done what he's going to do. He did leave. He showed me the stuff that he left. He did leave a bunch of containers at our friend's house. And I think that's great because she's excited because she knows I'm going to have to come back and see her. So that made her super excited. Yeah, I mean, I probably need to go through a lot of it. And did I tell you guys? Remember I told you guys the guy that we were living in that house and he wanted to raise our rent, like almost double our rent, and we were paying a lot to begin with. We were paying crazy amount. Blake was going to stop by and see him because he's a really old guy and he had some health issues. And, Blake was just going to stop by and see him. He sold our house, you guys, for I thought it was 1.1 million, but Blake said he looked it up in the records and it was like 1.6 million. And you guys, this house was not, you guys, this was this was a cane worker's house from like, I don't know, the 50s, and it was cement, it was cinder block. Guys, they have cane homes that were like wood, and then I think in the 50s they made cinder block. Val might know more than me. They made cinder block cane homes. And this was one of those. And you guys, the neighborhood was like, I told you guys about the guy next door who had like an auto body chop shop. And he had air compressors and stuff going off all hours of the night. And then, yeah, it was insane. 1.6 million. Good man. The really stupid thing is, had he been like totally upfront with us, I mean, we would have done whatever we could to help him. But he was just trying to raise our rent so that he could get us out. What we didn't know is, see, he would have had to buy us out, and we didn't, or give us a 45-day notice. And what we didn't know, we didn't find out till Blake went back and looked, was that his closing, like, that's why he was trying to raise our rent to be so unreasonable, because he was like, well, if I raise our rent enough, then I don't have to tell him that I've already put the house on the market and sold it. So whatever. But I said to Blake, well, at least you know now. At least you don't feel bad, So it's all good. So he went by there to see him, and he wasn't there now because he sold the house. So he had to have moved out like within weeks of us moving out. We left in the middle of January, and it looks like he closed. Like, we left, I think, when did I leave you guys? The 7th of January or the 12th of January? I can't remember. He closed on like January 23rd or something like that. So he had to have known for a long time. That's kind of a weird chair, right? It's like a knitted chair. It was called Knit and something. It's kind of weird. You left nothing except your daughters and your Mo'opuna, your grandkids. I'm sorry. What about pickled eggs and beets? Aw, you're going to have some hard-boiled eggs and beets? You're going to tell them they have to eat all the ones they die? I get it. I guess they're dying eggs for Easter. Carrie's pickling her eggs. You're getting 6 or 7 eggs a day from your chickens? Guys, Blake's been gone. And I told you guys he was working on this farm, and we were getting like a dozen eggs a day. And I have so many eggs, you guys. I've eaten so many eggs. I've made so many things with eggs in it. I've made bread pudding for our neighbor because I don't eat bread, and froze it and send it over to him. And between my, I'm eating, I was eating that bland diet of just eggs, but I'm a little over it now. I'm like, I don't know if I want any more eggs right now. Yeah, my sister, she's going to her kids for Easter, and my sister lives in Vegas. That's where Blake's gonna go stay for his 21-hour layover. And or she's going to her kids, and they live in LA. And so this was from something I made, so we'll just put it in here. And she was telling me that she's going to dye the eggs before she gets there. She's going to dye eggs, and she said, no, she's going to hard boil them. She says, that way, if anybody wants to dye eggs, she doesn't have to deal with it. They can just do that. I said, well, that's a good idea. You guys, I'm not even doing that. Seisha hates hard boiled eggs. Okay. I guess we could dye eggs, and then I could make egg salad. But she won't eat. She went to her dad's house once. You guys, do you remember when you were like at that sort of like right before you started like kind of growing into your body as a girl, before you really hit like your peak of puberty, you kind of gain a little bit weight and you get a little chunky, and suddenly you have a growth spurt and you get taller, right? Well, at one of the times when she went to see her dad, he and his girlfriend told her she was fat. Okay. And first of all, you have to understand something. That man has never been thin. So it's like the pot calling the kettle black. But you guys, she was not fat. She's like, I don't know. She's like 125 pounds, and she's like 5'3". She's not fat. So maybe she had, I don't know. I didn't notice it. Well, he told her she was fat. And her favorite thing, I told you, is Chinese food. And her really favorite thing is like soup. Like she loves Chinese soup, wonton soup, egg drop soup, hot and sour soup. She loves all that. Well, he boiled her. He thought he was being helpful. Like no man should ever do this to a girl. Blake was like so pissed off. He showed her how to boil eggs, and he told her that if she was hungry, that she could boil herself some eggs a few times a day. You guys, she will not eat another egg ever. And she used to love egg salad. She loved tuna fish. I put eggs in it. She used to love used to make her egg burritos for breakfast before she went to school. She will not eat an egg. She won't even look at one. Okay. Is that horrible or what? So I don't think we'll be making any eggs. Not because I don't want to make eggs, but because of my girl. She won't even eat them. And she used to love egg burritos. You guys, I made egg burritos for her, for breakfast, all the time. I would make her egg burritos. Now she won't even look at it. You can't eat eggs? You have a fried, what? You have a friend that gives you eggs? I love eggs. I'm just a little bit over it. You guys, in my refrigerator downstairs. So Sage and I went to have Chinese food because since Blake's been gone, I'm like, what do you want for dinner? If she wants Chinese food, my butt takes her because why not? So she's had Chinese food a couple of times, but he, in my refrigerator, all I have downstairs is I bought some ground meat and ground sausage because I told her I'd make her some spaghetti sauce. I have a keto casserole that I made myself, which is really good. It's like chicken, broccoli, cream cheese. You mix it all together and bake it. But she won't eat that because she doesn't like casseroles. She says it doesn't look good. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I have you guys will probably have 5 or 6 dozen eggs down there. So much so the dog wouldn't eat anything today, and I made him scrambled eggs. The dog, I was thinking I was going to take the dog to the vet. She wouldn't eat anything today. I don't know why. And then I made her some hard-boiled. I made her some scrambled eggs, and she ate them. She would not eat her grain-free dog food, which is not normal for her, but whatever. But she won't even eat eggs. I mean, so now it's like, so I have stuff I could make her egg burritos safe if she wanted, but no. Guys, I have like 5 trillion dozen eggs in there. It's ridiculous. You could mail them rotten eggs. Oh, it is horrible. I agree with you. You guys have no idea. I had to sit with her while she cried, and I didn't understand at first what it was. And then when she kind of told me, she goes, and the worst part was they ate soup in front of me. And soup is like one of her favorite things. And I said, so I just said to her, I said, anybody that has any opinion about your body, don't listen to them. I said, your body is your own. I said, you can decide how you want to look anytime. And I said, only you. And you are the only person in the whole world that has to feel comfortable in your body. So trust me, I've lost weight, gained weight, all that stuff my whole life. I said, it was so horrible, you guys. I had to go to therapy with her over it. It was like the worst. It was like, now she won't even, now she, like, if you like make egg salad, she won't even look at it. She was like big into egg salad, tuna salad, potato salad with eggs in it. Now forget it. She won't have any of it. I told her to talk about his balding head. I said he's got a complex about that. So why don't you just talk about how bald he is? No man should ever talk. No man should even open his mouth about a woman's body, period. That's just my feeling. But she will not eat. I can't even if I wanted to get her to eat an egg, it would not happen. She will not eat it. How did I end up with so many eggs? Because my person now, he works on a farm. And the chickens just suddenly started laying a ton of eggs, and it's just him and his business partner right now. During the summer, they have guests. They have like little guest cottages and whatever, and then they give the eggs to the guests, right? But right now, it's like there's only 2 of them, and the chickens are laying like a dozen a day, maybe more. So he was bringing like a dozen eggs. He was bringing home a dozen eggs every other day. Val, I can totally relate to that. He was a meanie, Allie. He was meanie. That's why we're not together anymore. He was a meanie. He was a total meanie. I just woke up one day and said, what am I doing? That's what I did. I woke up and said, this is weird. Well, I started, you guys, and these are just mindless gluings. I'll go back and sometimes I like really get into it and like I like this page, but sometimes I just don't, because I don't have my plethora of, although I have a mess here with little bits and pieces I've cut up, I don't have my plethora of magazines, but I'm going to make it as soon as it becomes yard sale season, I'm going to make it my mission to get my magazine on, I think we've all had those pictures. Tell him I may be fat, but you're bald. I know I could lose weight. Exactly. And she is so sweet. She's like the sweetest, kindest of all my kids. Like very sweet, very kind, doesn't think, like she's not. My older daughter would have told him off. My middle daughter, boy, she'd have cut him down into size in like 2 seconds, right? That's Violet, who sometimes is here with us. That's the one that was sick a couple weeks ago in ICU with diabetes. She totally would tell him off. We tell the little one to channel her inner Violet. Because Violet is, she's not mean, but she just is very curt with him because he is not nice, and so yeah, but I just told her she can't let it affect her. I said, people are going to say things to you your whole life. You have to listen to what you say to yourself because that's all that matters. What he says to you doesn't matter. Well, I may be fat, but at least I'm good looking. That's right. Violet and Vera need to get together. No, Violet, Violet went to boarding school in Vermont. I was living in Hawaii, and Violet wanted, her older sister also went to boarding school in Vermont. By their choice, I might add. And So, she would come home, but not as often on breaks because it's a very long way to come from the East Coast to Hawaii when you only have like a week off or a few days off. Anyway, her dad's girlfriend, they had parents' weekend, and why I don't understand him. It would, he had many girlfriends, so this is not like the only girlfriend he's had since he and I separated a trillion years ago. But he invited his girlfriend to parents' weekend, and poor Violet, and the girlfriend wasn't nice. Okay, the girlfriend was the kind of person that has never had children and was jealous of the kids, which is dumb. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I had a stepmother like that, so I kind of get it. She was jealous of the kids, and it was stupid. And so here he comes to go on parents' weekend, and he brings the girlfriend, which Violet didn't want the girlfriend to come. And I didn't come because it was like just Friday and Saturday or Saturday and Sunday, to fly all the way from Hawaii for that. It was a lot. So he comes for parents' weekend and takes Violet out for Chinese food or whatever they wanted to do. And I think one of Violet's friends was going to go with them or something. And they instead decided maybe they couldn't get into wherever they were going. And they went to Friendly's. Well, Friendly's, we don't have Friendly's in Hawaii. Friendly's is kind of like Zippy's, right, in Hawaii. So the girlfriend who has an egg allergy, while we're talking about eggs, proceeds to grill the poor little server at Friendly's. And, Friendly's is like a Denny's or something. People make no money, Maybe they make more money at Denny's. And, on the table, they have on the table at Friendly's, they have the ingredients of everything. And so she starts grilling him and asking him if it's eggs in the ice cream and this and that. And I think Violet just she told her off. She basically said, listen, you've butted in and come to parents' weekend and we've decided to come to Friendly's. They don't make egg-free. How old are you? You're accosting the guy. You can't eat it. You're accosting the guy over your allergy. Knock it off, basically, because Violet says it was like a whole ordeal, it's just like on and on. She's like, so get an iced tea. Don't eat anything. It was like, so I keep telling Sage, just channel and then, of course, the girlfriend left crying. And then my ex-husband calls me and says, can you please ask Violet to be nice to her? And I said, well, Violet, what happened? And then I said, well, why did you take her to parents' weekend? I said, that's just so stupid. And so she's not her parent and she's not even nice to her. This is the same girlfriend he's with right now, by the way. So I keep telling Sage to please channel her inner Bowie. So, but she doesn't. Your chat is jacked up. What? That's your Vera? You miss Finley's? If she could get a kidnapper to give you... Oh, no. I get it. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Oh, yes. It's something similar to that, Cassandra. Something similar to that. Yes, it was ridiculous. Whatever. You know what? Yeah. She was from Texas, too. Your chat's acting up. I'm sorry. Well, since the whole egg thing, she won't eat eggs. And I've tried, Blake and I both tried with her. Like, her favorite thing used to be if I made her like a scrambled egg burrito with cheese. Used to make her that and wrap them up and she would eat them on the way to school. But forget it. She won't even do it now. So I don't know. It's just, you guys, I think we don't realize. I mean, I realize it and you ladies realize it, but I think men just don't realize that the things that they say are just hurtful and it's not necessary. Like he didn't need to say anything to her about, he didn't need to say one thing to her about her weight. Okay. Nothing. It's just not nice. Words really do hurt children. And the other thing is, it's a lasting thing. It's like a lasting hurt. I mean, you guys have no idea. I've had to deal with this particular girlfriend that he's had for a while. I've had to deal with so many things with my kids and the way, and you would think that he would be more protective of his daughters. You'd think he'd just sit down with this woman and say, we're dating, and it has nothing to do with my kids, but she's never had children, so she doesn't know. Oh, you told your hubby he hurt your feelings and he cried with you. Oh, you lost your dad for many, many years over his girlfriend. Yeah, I had a terrible stepmother, so I won't lie. You were ready to get a boss at one time. Oh, girls, you have no idea. It was hard for me with her. It's like it's hard because like Blake at some point said to her, he said, "Well, now you're learning valuable lessons that you need to stand up for yourself. It doesn't matter who the person is. You need to stand up for yourself." And he was trying to like give her a pep talk, and she would be crying and stuff anyway. And then when she'd go to bed, he would be fuming. He's like, just let me get alone. Let me get alone with him. I'll knock him out. I'm like, no. Blake's like I don't know, 5th degree black belt or something. I'm like, no. I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm like, yeah. What's really sad is, my ex-husband used to have a really good relationship with our daughters, but because of this woman, he really doesn't anymore. And he's actually told them to their faces that she's his family. Now, he's not married to her. And even if he was, so my older girls they don't have any respect for him. Like, who would turn your back on your kids, And I just said, men are dumb. I don't even know what to tell you. It's like, it's dumb. But I mean, he's actually said that to them. And then when his mother died, they expected them to like come and comfort him. And my oldest daughter was like, he was trying, he did try. Okay. I will say a little too late, but he did try. And, he said, would you like me to FaceTime with you with grandma tomorrow? My mother-in-law didn't live through the night. And my oldest daughter said, I'd FaceTime with grandma anytime, but I don't want to talk with you. So it was hard. Oh, Malia. Well, that's good, Jamie. That's good. At least you have that. You're absolutely right, Malia. And I've had that conversation with all my girls. I've had that conversation with all of them, that just because you're related, you do not have to, you don't have to put up with it. And the really sad thing is that all of this stuff could have been really avoided if my ex-husband had any sort of backbone, if he had any sort of like spine, but he doesn't. And you can't make somebody have a spine. You can't make somebody stand up and say, this is ridiculous, like whatever. And the even more sad thing is that his sister, because her mom died, I spoke with his sisters. He's got 2 sisters. And one of his sisters was like, I really miss your girls. And I'm like, well, reach out to them, because 2 of them are grown, I said, but if you're planning any sort of thing with him involved, they're not going to come, because quite frankly, when your own parent does the things that he's done to them, who needs that, right? So, it's done some damage. And you guys, I've tried everything, but I had to finally just let it go and just try to love my girls just as much as I love them as always and tell them I'll never run out on them. And, Blake has been there through thick and thin with them, and he loves them like they're his kids. I treat Blake's sons like they're my children. I do for them the same way I do for my own kids. The same exact way. But I don't know. You guys, it's sad. Oh, I'm sorry, Carrie. It reminded you of why you're so distant? Malia, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know what? It's really hard because I have a very close relationship with I have a younger sister. I have two. My dad was married before he married my mother, and he has two daughters by that marriage, and they're much older than me. They're like 10 and 12 years older than me. And I did have a relationship with them for a while. I have a cordial relationship with them, but because I didn't grow up with them and because, I'm always nice to them, but I don't have that same relationship that I have with my sister, and she and I are very close. And I have 3 kids and she has 4 kids. And so our kids are close too. And, we have each other and we have each other's back. But with my ex-husband's family, I used to be very close to my sister-in-laws, very close to his parents. His nephew called me the other day, and his nephew is probably in his 40s. And I said, Tim, I didn't divorce you. I said, you guys are always welcome. You're welcome to come and visit. And, I didn't divorce them. But, our relationship just was not, you guys, we never had as bad of a marriage as he has put me through our divorce. You guys, we haven't been together for a very long time. So, I don't know. He and I actually had a very cordial relationship up until about 5 years ago when Violet graduated from high school, when he did all the crap he did to the kids. And they won't talk to him anymore. So, well, that's not nice, Dana. That's horrible. Money and family is the most difficult. I agree with you. Oh, it'll be really interesting because my mother-in-law just died, right? And she had a lot of money. In fact, she kind of used to hold it over our heads when we were married, which, we didn't have anything, And so it's interesting because it'll be interesting to see because the greed is like unbelievable. So my sister-in-law called me and asked me, was there anything that we wanted from my mother-in-law's house? And I said, I don't want anything. I said, you can ask the girls, And then I thought about it because when their dad died, their father died about 14 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. I had taken some of his old work clothes and I made pillows for everybody. I made these, like I wove all of his ties and made made sort of one of a kind fabric, and I made pillows. And then I made my ex-husband a quilt with some photographs. And I used that reverse collage technique that I use on paper. I used it on the fabric. It came out really good. But you have to use a sealer too. That's a whole nother story. So anyway, so when my sister-in-law called me back, I said, you know what? Because every year I used to give his mother His mother was a really good cook, and and I used to sew all the time. So every year I'd make her an apron, like make her a really cool apron out of some fabric because she always cooked. So I said to the sister, I said, why don't you go through her kitchen aprons and send me like 6 or 7 of them? Now realize I made them all. Okay. I said, send me a bunch of them. And I thought, because his mother loved birds, his mother was a big bird watcher and everything. I thought, well, you know what I'll do is I'll make like little quilted, I'll make like one of a kind fabric and I'll make like little quilted birds, like Christmas ornaments with all those aprons, right? That I had made and given her over the years. And the other sister told her no, they were part of the estate. So can you tell how it's going to go? If they're bickering over like some crappy aprons that I made her, and I was only doing it to be nice. You know what I mean? I was just because my sister-in-law is super torn up, and I was just doing it to be nice, because then she could give her kids and her grandkids some, because all of his sisters have grown children and grandchildren. We're the only ones that don't. I mean, we have grown children, but not grandchildren. So I wasn't doing it because I needed an extra thing to do. I was doing it to be nice. But I was like, okay, I'm not getting into this. So then his sister has been corresponding with my kids and asking them if there's a few things that they wanted. And I guess they've told them. I don't know. It was just, I was just trying to think of like, what would be a touching thing to get, right? And I was just thinking I'd make her sister one. Like he's got 2 sisters and him, and then one of his sisters has 3 kids, and she has 3 kids and 2 grandchildren, and then the other one has 1 son and 2 grandchildren. So I was just thinking I would make, little birds, just little stuffed birds that you like, bird ornaments, like quilted out of her aprons. Yep, there we go. So oh, Malia, I'm so sorry. I agree with you, Val. That's a good way to look at it. It is one less thing for me to do, but I was just trying to, you guys, I haven't seen his sister. What happened was when Seisha went there like a month ago for spring break, Seisha called me up in the middle of the night and said, Grandma's in the hospital. She fell and she hurt her head. And I called, and Seisha was very upset. So I called his sister to say, what hospital is she in? Because then, anyway, she didn't even know that her mother had fallen and that she was in the hospital because my ex-husband doesn't speak to her. It was just stupid. And so then I was like, oh my God. So then I thought, you know what? I know this isn't really any of my business, but if it was my mother, I would want to know. And she was the stupid thing is that sister lives the closest to the mother, right? My ex-husband lives like an hour and a half away from his mother. So I don't really know what's going on with them. She told me that they're in a dispute. I told you his parents had a lot of money. She said they were in a dispute over and his dad had a big company. They were in a dispute over some stocks. That's what she said. She said they aren't speaking over a dispute over some stocks. And so I'm like, well, I don't have anything to do with that. And I don't want to know about it, but here's my kid calling up because she's so upset. She'd gone for spring break and then her grandma falls. And anyway, so she calls me crying, right? And so anyway, and I call the sister to say what hospital she's in because I'm thinking, well, I don't know. I was just thinking that it was like, you know what I'm saying, girls? Us girls, we're just like thinking like, So then after that, I realized they weren't telling her anything. So when Seisha would text me and say, Grandma's here doing this or whatever, I texted his sister and just said, this is what I know. So then she was able there to go and be there with her mother. And anyway, then, fast forward to her mother, the grandma falling again. And you guys, it's just, yeah. Yeah. You know what? When I lost my mom. Oh my gosh, you guys, I lost my mom 15 years ago. Probably going on 16 years. You guys, so when you glue these things, like, can you see it's already getting wonky? Even though I've tried to glue it, like glue some from the front and glue some from the back, it eventually gets okay because you glue stuff down on it. And see, like this one, because I've worked in it so much, like, look, I've worked in this one so much, like I can open any page and it gets to it, right? But until you get it, like, until you work with it a little bit, you need to like glue, you need to go back and forth, like glue some from one side, then glue some from the other side so that it doesn't get a warped spine. Not that it matters because it's just a glue book. You know what, Allie? I was just trying to be like myself. I was just trying to say, like, when I lost my mom, it was my sister and I was young. So my mom's been gone 15 years. So I was 43 when my mother passed. And my sister was 37. So, and we were very close to our mom. But I was just trying to think of like what I would have if somebody had done that for me, because you guys, grief is so personal. Not all of it. None of us grieve the same way, no matter what. No, none of us grieve. Even if we have similar experiences, none of us grieve the same way. And you don't know how long it's going to take you to get over anything, or I don't know. So I was just trying to think of like what I could do that would be like thoughtful, that everybody could have, so that if somebody didn't get something, and you guys, it's just stuff. It's just stuff. So my ex-husband called and he asked Seisho if she wanted anything from her grandmother's house. And her grandmother had his mom had beautiful, beautiful things. She collected, fine furniture and antiques and had lots of family heirlooms. And, Seisha's 15, so she's not like, she's soon to be 16. She's not in that mindset of any accumulation. But she said to him, which I thought was very sweet, she said, well, Grandma made sure to give me some stuff before she died. So she said, I've got plenty. And I don't know what my mother-in-law always gave him tchotchke stuff, like stuff that was hers. Like expensive little Wedgwood dishes and stuff that don't mean anything to, a 15-year-old doesn't know that. Carrie, I can imagine you're going to grieve the rest of your life over your son. I don't think losing anybody. My mom's been gone for 15 years, you guys, and I miss her every day, every single day. Like I go to cook something that she cooked really well, and I'm like thinking, oh my God, like my sister and I were talking about something the other day, and I go, what did Mom put in her, whatever kind of recipe? And so we were like going over it, Yeah. I'm sorry, Carrie. I'm sorry for your loss. Val, too. She lost her son, too. It's like not, yeah, I don't know. I don't think grief ever ends either. I think it just takes on different ways that you deal with it. Guys, I had a very successful jewelry business when my mother got sick, and my mom, from diagnosis to when she passed, was less than a year. And it was like maybe like from diagnosis to, it was less than 6 months. I think it was like 6 or 7 months. And Seisha was an infant. And so I was dealing with having a baby and, like a new baby, and traveling to see back and forth from New York to California where my mother was living as she was going through all kinds of treatment and what have you. Anyway, I had this very successful jewelry business, and I had taken some time off And I had one of the owners of the company told me, I think my mother had been gone maybe less than a month, like 3 weeks. She told me I needed to get over it and get back on it because she needed jewelry for her store. I was like, okay. I was like, yikes. Oh, Jillian says her brother's been gone for 28 years and you think about calling him several times a week. Aw. You shared a love of the same stuff. That's so beautiful. Yeah, I agree with you. Grief comes in waves. I completely agree with you. I had it this week, you guys. I was like really I've had a really rough 2 weeks. I'm not going to lie. It just feels like it's just been relentless. Like, just all the stuff that comes up. It's been relentless. And I could have really used a nice conversation with my mom. You lost your mom when you were 10, Jen? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Ugh. I'm so sorry. No, I could have used a really nice conversation with my mother this week. I really could have. And last week. I used to call my mom every day. And I wouldn't necessarily talk a long time or talk about a ton of things, but I called her every day. No, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry, Julianne. I'm sorry, Jen, Val, Malia, Carrie. It's hard. We've all experienced grief. I agree with you, but it's like nobody can tell you how to get over your things, My ex-husband, who's been a complete and utter jackass to me for the past, if I told you guys some stories, you would just go like, oh my God. Anyway, he's been a complete and utter jackass. When his mother died, I was the first person he called. He called me like at 3 a.m, and she passed away, and he wanted me to call the kids, which I didn't call them till a reasonable time because there's nothing they could do, right? And I talked to him and I told him I'm sorry, and and I listened. And I listened to what he had to say, and I said, "Your life." I said, "I understand." So it does come in waves. I agree. Oh, I'm so sorry, Judy. You're right. You never stop missing them, no matter what. I agree with. And they do love you the best. I agree. Oh, girl, you don't have to tell me. I've had those emotional days. I love you, Malia. Big hugs. I appreciate you, girl. You're awesome. So you guys get all your quilting stuff. You know what? I'll try to do, if I can do like a quick video before Tuesday, I will try to gather like my supplies. I need to set like a big old dictionary on this so that it like mashes down so that I don't get I don't know why, but I don't know. I worked on this one so long and I loved it so much because I loved this book. I don't know why, but I did. We love you, Malia. We really appreciate you and love you so much. So I will try to I'll try to do a video of like what to bring for your supplies on Tuesday, just so that, we're just going to make a small sample, but know that the sample that we make, you can then make a journal cover if you want to, or if you wanted to incorporate it in your quilt, depending upon how big your quilt is, you can. You can also look at it like this is just like a sample. My favorite thing to do, and maybe you guys can pipe in and say what you think, but my favorite thing to do, especially when I'm trying something new or something that I haven't done or haven't done in a while, is to make samples. And then based on after I've made the sample, then I jump in and work on a project. Now I know for some people, a finished product is like the goal, but I can guarantee you if you take the time to make the samples, like if you really take the time to make the sample and test out like your fabric, test out your because after we make it, then we snip it. It's a very simple process. Anybody can do it. It does not take a skill and you don't need a sewing machine. You do need a needle and thread though. And 3 layers of fabric. But if you test it out, you can see like what works on a smaller project rather than investing like a huge amount of time and energy into the overall finished product. Does that make sense? And I know, I mean, when I used to teach on a regular basis, I know for a lot of people, it is very, you want that instant gratification. You want that end product, which I understand as well. But I can guarantee you, if you take the time to even make it just the sample or bring together the stuff to make samples, you'll like your finished product much better. And it also can make you realize like, I don't really want to make this project. I've made the sample. Okay, the sample's fine. I'm not investing in it. Does that make sense? Where's your sewing machine? You can make it. You don't necessarily need a sewing machine. In fact, we can make one where we hand sew it, and we can make one with a sewing machine. Obviously, sewing machine's a lot faster. Hey, Janice. No, it's paper. Girl, I have got paper everywhere. I don't have any sewing stuff over here. I found my bookbinding kit. I have this red. I love this. I bought a big spool of this red wax linen, and I love it. And I found out the other day, I found my awls so that I could bind some books. You can make your sample with color paper, but I think I'm not talking about the patterning of your quilt. What I'm talking about is just the simple technique of, because what you're going to do is you're going to sew. Normally when you sew things, you sew your seams on the inside and then you would iron it, right? And then you would have the other piece underneath it and you would sew it. But in a rag quilt, it's like this. You guys, look what I have. I have my very lovely, painted baby wipes. So in a rag quilt, what's going to happen is you're going to sew, say this is our fabric, and there's 3 pieces of fabric together. And then you're going to sew them. Let's pretend this is 3 pieces and let's pretend this is 3 pieces. Okay. So instead of sewing your right sides together and there being a seam, you're going to sew them with your seams together like this. Okay. You're going to sew them with your seams together like this. And when you sew them with your seams, and that's not normal for when you sew. So you're going to sew all of your blocks with the seams right sides, and so you'll have 3 pieces of fabric. So it's basically like 6 pieces of fabric because you'll have a lining, a piece inside. And so you're going to be sewing them like this. And then the next one, you'll sew like this, or you'll sew down here. And so that's what we're going to practice. So that's why I say, let's make it 10 by 10 blocks. So just bring a bunch of scraps. And if I get a chance, I will make a video before Tuesday, just a short video to say, if anybody wants to make along, this is what you need. And so if we make a sample, then you can take your 10 by 10 or however big yours ends up being, and make a journal cover. Does that make sense? I was afraid you were gonna get poked. Oh, I don't have anything pokey here. I do have this matte knife, but it's not even sharp. That's the extent of my pokey. You can't find needles and thread either? Jen, we're going to make a rag quilt square because I want to make this rag quilt. And I thought if we all made one together, then you could use yours for a journal cover. I mean, it'll be super fun. I say bring your fabric bigger pieces in the beginning. I'll try to make a couple of sample pieces before, and I'll try to make a video between now because Blake and I are going to go away on Thursday. I'll try to make a video and put it up between now and Tuesday that says if you want to make a long, this is what you need. And don't go buy anything. Just use like what you have. Like I'm going to eventually make a big one out of jeans for my daughter. And that's going to probably be very heavy, because jeans are heavy, but use what you have, So, and just keep in mind, if you say you want, I just said a 10 by 10 square, but you could make yours any size you want it. But say you want it 10 by 10 and you're going to sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance on all sides. You just have to have your fabric has to be a little bigger than that. Does that make sense? Yeah. But I promise I'll make a list. I'll make a whole. You know what, Valerie? I made a Hawaiian quilt once for a friend, and it was a labor of love. It's beautiful, but the hand quilting is like so serious. So serious. And it doesn't leave a lot of room for mistakes. And girls, I'm a mistake maker because well, you could do it with two. Okay. But okay. So let's just talk quickly about the controversy of quilting. Some people do not believe that if it's just two pieces of fabric, one on top of the other, that it's quilting, that it's considered a quilt because there's nothing in between it that you've sewn as a layer of batting. Okay. So if you want to do yours 2 layers, that's fine. The only thing is this, when you do it with 2 layers, it doesn't rag as well. So if you do it with 3 layers, like say you have a solid sheet that you're going to use for your bottom, and you have some whatever scrappy fabric you're going to use on the top, because realize you're cutting it all, you're making them in small pieces. If you put like a piece of flannel inside of it, that would rag really well. Let me see if I can pull up a rag quilt on my phone and you guys can see. Boy, I've got lots of messages. Let me see. This is what I get for let's see if I can find a rag quilt. It's really super cool. And I'll tell you, I've made a couple of them and I've made them out of, let's see if I can find where you can see it. Okay. Can you see how the seams rag it? Can you see how that's why you need the extra for the ragging. And some things rag better than others. Let me see if I can find a really good example. And if you get really good, you can make, I have a friend, she makes hers and she makes flowers in hers and they come out amazing. Okay, here's a rag quilt somebody made with flannel. Let's see if we can get a picture of it. And look, they did hearts in theirs. Do you see? Now you don't need batting. You just need 3 pieces of fabric. That's why. See, so then when you snip it and then you wash it, it rags. And the back side of it, here, let's see if we can find the back side of a rag quilt. Oh my gosh, you guys. Let's see. Back side of a rag quilt. Okay, so the front side's going to be like this. And let's see if we can find a back. Let's see if they show the back. Yeah, they do here, but you can't really see it. See how the back is just plain? So the front is ragged and then the back, but you could have it different colors because you're sewing them in small increments together. So we'll do a super simple one and we'll make it small enough and use it so that you can make a journal cover for it. We could make a Midori style journal, or you could sew in your journal pages if you want to. Oh, look here, somebody made a rag pillow. Somebody made a pillow out of it. So you get the kind of idea? But I've been wanting to make, I collected these jeans and I actually brought them with me from Hawaii, which is the stupidest thing ever, but I did. And and I brought it with me from Hawaii, and I, carried all the jeans with me, so I'm gonna make it out of I'm gonna eventually make a whole blanket out of jeans, but if I made them in small enough blocks, right, then I could just make all the blocks, and then at some point, I could just sew them all together. Does that make sense? Girl, why not have questions? It'll be fun. You can do it with anything. The only reason I say do it with flannel because it rags really well, or if you want it to be really well, you're making a cover. But you can use anything. You can use 3 pieces of cotton. You can use I just wouldn't use any wovens because you know what I mean, like stretchy knits because, they, they, they don't rag. So, I'm sorry. So So I love you girls. I will see you next Tuesday and I will try to make a video between now and then, but it'll be fun. Look, it doesn't even matter if it doesn't come out because it's just the fact of making it, but I can imagine we'll make some really cool, amazing little book covers. Your grandma and mom used those really cheap flannel blankets everyone had back in the day in the 60s. I still have one. There you go. All right, you girls, I love you so much. I will see you next week. And you guys have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you next Tuesday for our craft along. And I will definitely get my, love you, Liz, definitely get my supply list together and I'll make a really short video about it. Okay. Love you guys. Love you, love you, love you. Yay, our last delivery of the day. Aw. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you next week. All right. Have a wonderful weekend. And you guys head on, make sure that you head to Anne's on Sunday at 5 o'clock on Anne's channel. Anne Lair right there. Head to her channel on Sunday at 5 o'clock. She does a live stream. All right, lovelies. I love you so much. See you next week. Good night.